did you think that he performed and took another step, considering, again, less time to throw, better coverage in the secondary, all those things, or
no?
Not necessarily, no.
No. It really just, and this is kind of what I was worried about, it really highlighted his inability to throw the ball at this point consistently down the field. Second play of the game, we go quick on a no huddle thing and get Xavier Restrepo on a slot fade, butt naked wide open. I'm talking backflips, cartwheels. I mean, there's nobody within probably a 25-yard square on the field. I mean, he is as open can be. And Jacurri Brown couldn't hit him with the ball. And I immediately tweeted it. I said that was the double move to Jeff Thomas in the ACC championship game in 2017 when he was wide open on play action. He ran it was a double move. It looked like he was going to go to a corner, and then he chopped it up and went back to the post after he widened the safeties. And you had a safety on the other side who was occupied by a high-low concept. So, I mean, he was gone, wide open. Malik Rozier couldn't hit him. And that, I think, changed the tenor of the game. And missing that throw on the second play of offense, so there it goes. And that's when you have to have. Like, I really don't care. Like, come hell or high water, you got to hit that. I don't, it's like, well, there was some pressure that I told y'all that Miami blocking Clemson's defensive line was going to be not a great prospect. I wrote it on our site. I answered the question on Shaking the Southland, our sister site for Clemson on SB Nation, with a question and answer with one of their writers. I mean, at least it clearly stood out to me. Miami blocking their defensive line was going to be an issue. Yet and still, he had enough time to step up there. You can see that he has an arm that he can fling it 70, 80 yards. But if you can't put the ball on somebody that wide open, what are we doing here? It's like, well, Gaddis gets no credit for that. They ran the concept. They ran the scheme that he called. They went at the tempo that he called. And we ran that. And all of those things put together forced Clemson into the miscommunication that got the broken coverage, that got him wide open. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that he 100% gets credit for it, but I'm not going to say it's no credit when you call the play, you design the play, and you go with the tempo that you're calling. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take that into consideration. Yet and still, wide open, Jacurri Brown couldn't hit him. I mean, and again, I'm not thinking that Miami had a real chance in this game, not even maybe a real chance to cover in this game. But when you got a guy open by 25 yards, you got to hit him. You have to hit him. I'm sorry. You have to hit that throw, period. And it was, hey, maybe the kid is, 18 years old and he got hyped up on adrenaline and, oh, shit, and just flung it as hard as he could, which probably wasn't even as hard as he could because he would have put that thing through the uprights if he would have done that. But still, no, it's just not. He's not there as a passer. Clemson's not going to let you run the ball the way that you want to. And like, I tweeted something that was tongue-in-cheek. I'm not going to delete it because I have seen people say this in my Twitter mentions. They've said it on our website of like, oh, Jacurri Brown is Cam Newton. And I'm like, he's not Cam Newton. And so, like, at one point I was like, well, the difference between Cam Newton runs that linebacker over and Jacurri Brown doesn't. And people are still at it. They're like, yo, delete this. Yo, you're a clown. And I'm like, oh, this is where I took a niche internet thing that has been said to me and I brought it to y'all without giving proper context. But if you look at the way that he wants to play, it's almost like he wants to be Cam Newton. But I'm like, it's not the same. And you're not that big. Like 6'4", 225 is big. Cam Newton was like 6'6", 250. It was a different kind of size, a different kind of physicality and everything. But they'll let you run, right? But then you're going to run 10 times for 22 yards and had a long of 40. So think about all the times he gets hit. Think about all the times he gets sacked. Think about all the other times that he has a called quarterback run and it goes nowhere, right? 6 out of 13 with the interception. Not terrible, considering he was a 53% passer in high school and, 46% on the day against one of the better defenses, sure. But a lot of you're back up against it, and you need those, right? And you're going to have these 3 and outs. And as I'm looking at the stats again, Miami went 3 for 11 on third down. I guarantee, a lot of those 13 passing attempts came on those called 11 third downs. A lot of it's 13, right? But those are all going to be behind the sticks because they're crashing to the run. And Miami, whether it's Jacurri Brown or Jalen Knighton or Henry Parrish, not able to find any room. And when it came, time he needs to hit a throw, he does not have that ability yet. And it really just exacerbated or really put a spotlight on this is where in what part of your game and what in your game is deficient. And yeah, I mean, and I know that he's a true freshman. I know he's another young guy who's like 18 years old, but being as much of a gamer as he is and all kinds of things like that, the moment was absolutely too big for him, 100%. And, you miss that throw, you miss another. There were another couple throws that were pretty open that he misses. Like, no, that was, I'm not going to call it a step back because I don't think that he really had taken a step forward too much before. It was just kind of who he was. But yeah, just a real center stage spotlight on these are the areas of your game that have to develop, or that have to develop for you to be successful.
When was that throw? At what point in the game that he missed the guy 25 yards open?
It was the second offensive snap of the game. We were down 7-0. It was literally the second snap of the game.
That's what I thought you said, because I went to the okay. I've got a condensed game, so they skipped right over that.
But if I'm looking, go back to quarter 1. Clemson got the ball, boom, boom. No huddle, Jalen Knighton rush up the middle to the 27. No huddle, shotgun, Jacurri Brown, pass incomplete towards Xavier Restrepo.
Yeah.
That's like literally the second play of the game.
I wanted to see it. Anyway.
Somebody found it on Twitter. I sent it to somebody. My stream always slows down because I have TweetDeck and it streams the tweets on all my accounts and everything. I'll find that and at you with it.
Here's the full game.
But like literally, yeah, like second play of the game.
Okay, here's
like an offensive snap, I should say, yeah.